What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 5th day of May. Here we are at about 1.58 cents right now. Having a little bit of a descent, 6.8% down on this three-day candle, 5.6% down on the one-day candle here today. It does look as though we're getting an actual breakout finally to the downside, right? We're not meandering anymore. What was my last video on XCN called? It's about to break out. Okay, cool. Well, good. We had that right at least. Let's see, from a relative low to a relative high. Relative low to a relative high here. We are below the 382. And likely what the next stop would be at a minimum. And this is not even the likelihood, right? No, most of the time, actually, in these situations, if it wasn't for this being crypto, if this was just a random stock, this is my first time looking at this, the call that I would have is that you'd go down to the golden ratio in this kind of scenario, right? That's what I would call for. Something at about 1.23 to 1.12 cents, somewhere in this area. And it's very important to mention that because it's very possible that XCN could go down here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm not saying that's what will happen. I'm just saying I'm okay with it if it does. Because guess what? It's the golden ratio. Guess what? From a low to where that is, that's still higher than anything has moved up since the 7th already. I don't care. Whatever. Go down that low. Fine. It's fine if you do. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I'm not worried if it does. I'm not expecting that, though. Again, what I'm expecting here is that you go to the next area, the 0.5. And this is not the more likely outcome to have. But being that OnyxCoin and crypto, like this whole past 2 years, has really widely respected the 0.5 area as resistance and support. Bitcoin, every crypto I could think of, man. They literally, and it's not that they find support or resistance there every single time. It's just it's been more common than less common lately. Being that if we're looking at this on a weekly time frame here, you take the overall low here of the move to the high there, and right where you bounced, right where that low was, it was right there at this 0.5 as well. You know, just the idea there puts it in my head that we could find support here at the 0.5, get a little repeat of that action there. We're clearly not having a lot of volume on the way down. There's some volume, don't get me wrong. I mean, if we look at this, let's see, XCN, you still got good volume on a daily basis, right? Yeah, 34. I mean, that's not like crazy volume, right? You guys remember the days where we were having 10% volume or 9% volume and higher, like regularly? That was when we were moving up, even when we were being boring. But now we've got some of the lower levels of volume that we've seen. And that's because we're dumping even on a dump day. This tells me that there's not a lot of interest to the downside. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but there's definitely people who are panic selling every step of the way down. If you're wondering right now, we're at 1.58 cents. Is it a good time to sell if we think that the price is going to drop another 10%? The answer is no. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want, but the answer is no. The time to sell, I think, would have been when we were above the 236 here. That would have been it both times. And maybe perhaps if you wanted to sell in a last ditch effort right here on the day that I flipped, right? Whenever you were still above this point of resistance here. Really, ever since you've gotten below like 1.7 cents, it's not been an ideal time to sell. So no, even though there's 10% potential, because the reason why is this doesn't have to happen. We could reverse at any single point in time. You don't know. This thing moves fast whenever it wants to. Why play the game for this whenever this is what's on the line? You know what I mean? And beyond that, even past that, why play the game here? It's not worth it. Not financial advice. It's not worth it. Looking at the daily time frame, the RSI is compelling to the downside on that note. Very compelling. Looking like we are probably not going to get this bounce off the 40 area. We're going to go right into the oversold area, perhaps bouncing off the oversold zone or getting into it. Either way, you know, if you're looking at this on a daily basis as the day's coming on, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw readings in the oversold zone. But then by the end of the day, we have such a positive reaction that it actually brings this move down. It brings it up above the oversold zone. Does that make sense? Right? Like, let's see, this day here, you see how you bounced right off the oversold or the overbought zone right there? You see how on this day, though, your price was way higher. I can bet that before, so whenever the day closes, it closes right here at about 2.1 cents. Whenever you close right there, that's where the RSI closes. But whenever you were up 15% from there, the RSI at that point, if you're looking at it, it would have been actually in the overbought zone instead of rejecting off of it. Does that make sense? It changes. It's changing every single second, every single minute that the price changes with it, right? It's adjusting according to that until the candle closes. All I'm trying to say is it wouldn't surprise me if before we're done with our move down here, we get down to like 1.43 cents, just below 1.4 cents, whatever. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw something similar where the daily RSI is in the oversold zone, but then by the end of the day, it closes back above it, something like that. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So look for that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If we do get into the oversold zone, we're fine. Whatever. We can skim. We've skimmed before. In fact, throughout this whole massive bearish trend that we had that lasted for months, all we could muster up as far as bearish oversold conditions was a skim. We just skimmed it. So I'm not expecting any kind of deep follow through with this, but it could happen. You never know. Certainly this RSI is more bullish than it is bearish. Deep readings in the overbought zone, very shallow readings in the oversold zone, eruptive to the upside, very slow pace to the downside. Although you're kind of being fast right now. Looking at the 4-hour time frame here, let's just see what we got going on. You do have some bullish divergence forming, I would say. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Is it? Is it not? Is it still lower than these lows? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I mean, I get that it's a higher low here and it's a lower low there, but maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. You could see some volatility on your way down, right? If this is bullish divergence or interpreted as such, maybe what you see is a move up to about 1.68 cents, 1.7 cents. You guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm not getting excited for any kind of move up until we're above about 2.02 cents. Until we're up there, I don't care. Go all the way up to 1.9 cents. It could just be a lower high on the way down. Maybe it just prolongs this inevitable endeavor to the downside. But until we get above 2 cents, I'm not calling for it to be the low. I mean, not yet, at least not until we get to those areas. It's either get above 2.02 cents or get to 1.43 cents, so somewhere in that area. If not, I'm waiting for that price until then, or until we get above 2.02 cents. From a low to a high, the expectation right now, just based off of these fibs, would be something between 1.48 cents to 1.29 cents. Anything and everything in this area is very possible. Remember, the overall 0.5 measure move that we have here, or Fibonacci retracement that we have here, the 0.5 is right smack dab the screen line. It's right in the middle of the zone here. So something between about 1.48 to 1.4 cents. That's very much what I'm expecting to happen. I think it's happening right before our eyes, and we're going to see it happen over the coming days. I'm hoping that this is a quick reaction. And not financial advice, not a financial advisor. When I'm saying that, I'm meaning that I hope it's a quick reaction to the downside. And once we get there, likely we're also going to have a quick reaction as far as a bounce goes, right? So if you're trying to buy the low, you got to have limit orders set up ahead of time. Every single time that we bounce, even when we're going down, let alone when we're going up, we have fantastic recoveries in a very short amount of time. So while we're here now, and it might be despairing for some people, I know there's a lot of you. I read the comments, man. There's a lot of you who are excited about this. You're getting to buy at cheaper prices. You're looking at it the right way, and I applaud you. Good job. That's the right way to be. But if you have any despair right now, just understand that probably by the end of this week, man. Looking at the weekly time frame now, 6 days, 10 hours left. Looking at where we are right now in the price, and just going off of how I would expect this thing to perform, it wouldn't surprise me if by the end of this week we're already down 5.6%. It wouldn't surprise me if we went down to the areas and then came back up and closed this week green. You know what I mean? So don't be discouraged. Everything's about to resolve itself, and then we'll be on our way higher. As of now, our measure move target for the bull flag has changed. It has shifted to this low. I don't think this is going to be the low, though. I think that we will go lower. But if we were to bounce here, that measure move takes us to 5.3 cents, not 5.5 cents. If and when we go down to the 1.43 cent area, that measure move will take us up to about 4.85 cents, 4.9 cents right at this high. So that's what we have to look forward to after we break out. How long does it take to get there? I don't know. We bounce here. We might consolidate for a little bit and then really start to move up. Who knows how it's going to look. Maybe it's just a straight shot, just like this one was. Time will tell. But inevitably by the end of the month, I certainly do expect we'll be here, if not higher. And I got nothing else for you guys. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Have patience. All right, have patience. We are picking up volume to the downside, but again, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like miraculous. It's desirable. It's good volume still. We want to see that even to the downside. You want to have good volume, but that you want to have interactions going on, transactions going on, validating the price and all that kind of stuff. But it's nothing to be worried about, right? We're clearly getting more volume to the upside when we're buying. Not so much. There's not so much interest, as I like to say, to the downside there. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. We got a lot higher to go than just 4.9 cents, guys. By the end of this endeavor, we're going to see prices well above 20 cents. That'll probably be by the end of June, if not early July. I got nothing else for you. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.